Yo, what's up? It's King Steph, and I'm here with some, now I wouldn't say newer content, but something to change up a little bit from JJK, and that's Chainsaw Man. Now, I love Chainsaw Man, especially off the reread. It's still one of the craziest fast-paced reads I've ever had in a manga or anything, period. But in this video specifically, I'm going to be going over what I think is the biggest moments in Chainsaw Man, specifically 5 in the series. So, without wasting any time, let's go ahead and get up into it. I'm gonna go with is Aki in the Future Devil. For me, this puts so much suspense on Aki as a character and his eventual death in the series. And not only that, Future Devil has one of the craziest designs in terms of a devil, that power that we've seen up until that point. Also giving Aki the ability to see a couple minutes or seconds ahead into the future when it comes to opponents. It was a lot of moments really where we kind of got to see his inner dialogue, and it kind of mixed in with the Future Devil's dialogue. And it was really just like, it felt like everything with Aki that felt life-threatening, it was like, okay, this might be the time, but it wasn't. And honestly, the whole build-up with Aki, and then including this and another moment that's going to be later on this list, I really liked how Fujimoto kind of used this to keep us always in tune with what Aki was going to be doing into the future, no pun intended. Second, this one still to me the most shocking moment in all of Chainsaw Man, and that's the death of Power, because of how sudden it was and kind of the spiraling effect that was leading into that. When I tell you, when I was reading, I don't want to say it's like 80 to 90 around there. It was kind of like, as you're reading, you kind of feel like something was happening. The dogs everywhere. Denji was kind of brought into where Maki was at, and it's kind of frustrating reading it at the same time, because you're like, dude, Denji still doesn't realize that, or maybe he did and he didn't like think he could do anything. Like it was kind of like you felt anger towards Denji because of just how oblivious he was. But when Power knocked on the door, or basically Makima said, I'm going to kill Power, and it felt like he couldn't do anything because out of so much shock he had, and he couldn't believe what was going to happen. And then the bang, as she had the birthday cake for Denji, and her body just splattered across the wall, that it felt so out of nowhere. And still, like, bro, I cannot imagine how that's going to be animated. I know everybody's going to be incredibly emotional when it happens, especially on like Twitter and like YouTube reactions. Still one of the most shocking moments in manga that I read when it came to that. Number 3, Snowball fight. I'm telling you right now, this entire arc, the Gun Devil arc, is my favorite overall in the manga. But I kind of want to do an arc thing later for another video. But just specifically the Aki Denji, the scene of the snowballs and Aki and Denji having fun, kind of like in this what if scenario or this illusion for each other, and it's inevitable that Denji has to kill Aki, and then obviously, like, before that, Aki coming to the door with the gun all over him, meaning that the Gun Devil got him. And it was like, damn, the one thing that Aki wanted to kill, that he was living, his whole reason to living was to kill the Gun Devil, and he never got his chance to. It was so sad, but the fight was so, it was kind of hard to just get into it because of how emotional it was, but it hit on every single level that I know Fujimoto was capable of writing. And I felt like this right here solidified Fujimoto as one of the great newer generation writers. Number 4, I got the Bomb Devil is Reze revealed. First of all, this is one of the craziest sequences in the manga, because Reze as the Bomb Devil is absolute carnage and just raw energy because of how she uses her goddamn ability. And when I say, when she pulled that pin at the beam saying Denji, and her head flew off, and it was just this big explosion, and she was still able to function even with her head off, it was just unbelievable. Then the transformation was caught me way off guard, but it was definitely menacing. I wonder if he took some inspiration from like the Alien movies or whatever when it came to the design, especially specifically the head. But oh my god, this was so crazy. Then the fight in the street, the inclusion of the buildings and the other people that were surrounded, and how she threw her head in the building, blew it up, and the whole, oh my god, it is one of the craziest moments revealed. Even before that, you got Reze building this relationship with Denji. We as the audience thought, oh, Denji finally got a girl. But nope, it was just another girl trying to get something from him. Mainly because he's the Chainsaw Man Devil, and he kind of touched on that in the fight as well. Man, Like, once again, I'm gonna say this again. Can't wait till this is animated, because this is going to be one hell of a sequence when it is. Fifth, I'm gonna go with Hell and Chainsaw Man. This is easily, to me, one of the most in shock moments when you're going to read Chainsaw Man or whether you're going to watch it in the anime, because it's so awe-inspiring as to what Fujimoto did with this entire portion and even the build up to it. We got the place. This is basically the place where all the devils are born, and it holds one of the most fearsome devils in the Darkness Devil that instilled immense fear into someone like Power. And I gotta say, off appearance, the Darkness Devil is definitely intimidating when you first see him. The way he's kind of portrayed and introduced at first, it can catch you off guard a little bit as to how menacing he looks. Also, that iconic panel of the astronauts and their feet are hanging out from their graves, and like it's such a crazy scene seeing it, because it's like everything is just happening so fast in such a bizarre manner. There's a bunch of deaths in there. So many good characters and fun characters end up dying in this portion. And then the atmosphere, it's honestly just ominous. It feels empty. It's chilling. And yet, like I said, it's awe-inspiring when looking at some of these panels. Especially that panel with the Fiend looking around and witnessing that he's actually in hell himself. Also, the foreshadowing leading to this and after this is really well done, especially with Denji and the Chainsaw Man, and also the reveal of the Chainsaw Devil once being a resident of Hell and how that played out, especially near the end of the series. Man, it was definitely it was one of the best moments in the entire manga for me, and I still will never forget about it. Alright, that was the end of the video and what I think is the 5 biggest moments in Chainsaw Man for me. Let me know in the comment section down below what your biggest moments is in the entire series. Also, what are you looking forward to getting animated in the anime? Because I know Mappa and their entire crew, I know it's going to be like an all-star crew. They're going to go probably insane when it comes to a lot of these moments. But I'll holler at you on the next one. Don't forget to subscribe and like, of course. Peace.